today we are going to take a look at investigation 2.1, which will have us answering the question of how do we go about finding a number that is a good estimate of the typical household size based on the given information or data. So essentially what that means is that we're going to be finding the mean for a data set. So mean is another name for average. Mean is also another statistical summary statistic or point of information or a measure of central tendency that describes a set of information. So we're going to take a look at this household information for 6 different people, okay? And we're going to take a look and we're simply going to count up and just get a total for the number of people in the house. So there's 2 for Ollie, 6 for Pablo, 3 for Yarnell, 4 for Ruth, 3 for Gary, and 6 for Brenda. All right, and then we need to find their total. So when we find the mean for this group, we need to find the total. So I'm going to list them in order. 6 plus 6 plus 4, 3, 3, and 2. We're going to add those up. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 4 and 3 is 7. 3 and 2 is 5. So this would be 12. So 12 plus this 12 is 24. So there's a total of 24 people represented by this information. Now, to find the mean for this set of information, we need to take the number 24 and we're going to divide it by the number of data points. And the number of data points is 6 because there are 6 different people and their houses associated with this. So, we're going to take a look and we're going to find that 6 going into 24, 24 divided by 6 is 4. Okay, we'll finish out the division, make sure there's no remainder. And our mean for the information shown is 4. So we could say that the average house size based on these 6 houses would be 4. That each house on average would contain 4 people. Now looking at the information, we can clearly state that only one person actually has 4 people in their house. That there are 2 people that have 6 members of their family and 3 others that have smaller numbers. So again, it's just a summary statistic or measure of central tendency to give us an overall snapshot of the information. Now, moving on to the next page in the book, we can also use a table to show the information and show that by name, and we list the number of people. And again, we could add them up here, and we're still going to get 24. All right, so how else might we represent this data? Oh, there's the bell. We could also represent this using an ordered list. Whoops. We could make an ordered list. We could make a dot plot. Okay. We could do a frequency table. There's lots of different ways that we've talked about already that we could do. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to move into A. And this has the situation still being used here, is the number of people for those houses. So, the first thing you're going to see is an ordered value bar graph. And the ordered value bar graph is this thing right here, where we put them in order by the number. Okay, showing how many people had 6, how many people had 4, how many people had 3, how many people had 2. So based on this, I know that one person had 2 people in their house, that there are 2 people that have 3 people in their household, that there was one member who had exactly 4, which is the mean, okay? And then we had 2 people that each had 6 members in their house, all right? Or I can make a dot plot of the information, like we said earlier, and the dot plot is listed here. And then, based on that information, I'm going to use this little tiny triangle right here to show where the mean is on the dot plot. Okay, so the first question is to explain how the ordered value bar graph and dot plot are related. And how they're related is it shows us the frequency of each point of the information. We can clearly see that one person had exactly where the mean was. We can clearly see that there are 2 people that have 6. Okay, so this is basically giving us the same information in two different ways. Both of these will work for showing our information. All right, so that's how they're related. They're each showing us the information as a picture. Moving on to the next page gives us another source. So A2, Brenda uses the ordered value bar graph at right to identify the mean. Her first steps are shown. On a copy of the graph, complete her steps. So what she's doing here is she's going to take this part of Brenda's information and she's going to move it and she's going to even out the bars. So this bar moves down to here. Okay, we can remove another one and that would come out to there. Okay, and then on Pablo, we can take this bar and move it down here to Yarnell. Okay, and then we can take this piece of the bar and move it down here to Gary. And what that does, I'm going to get rid of these arrows real quick. Okay, what that will do, if we get rid of these two and these two, is it makes all of the people show that there are 4. Okay, thus averaging out the information. Okay, because all of the bars are the same size, that also indicates that this is the mean for our information. So this would be the mean of our information. All right, so Ollie also states that after evening out the bars, the graph would look like 6 households with 4 people each. How might you have predicted the mean? Well, we could have predicted the mean simply by, at the beginning, adding up the values of 6, 6, 4, 3, 3, and 2, getting the 24, dividing it by the 6, and that equaled a mean of 4. Okay, so what I want you to do before coming to class tomorrow is go ahead and take a look at this as many times as you need to. Maybe come up with a set of your own numbers and make an ordered value bar graph. Tomorrow in class, we're going to take a look at the table and how we can use that to find the mean as well.